The afternoon of April 15, 2025 began like any other in Islamabad, Pakistan. The spring sun beat down on the bustling capital city, a familiar warmth blanketing its residents. The streets were alive with the usual hustle and bustle, vendors calling out to passers-by and children playing in the parks. But this normalcy was shattered, as the sky turned a menacing shade of gray, the air growing heavy with the threat of rain. The sudden change was almost palpable, a collective pause as people looked up in surprise. What followed was as unexpected as it was ferocious. A massive hailstorm, the likes of which the city had never seen. The first hailstones fell sporadically, but within minutes the sky unleashed a torrent of ice. For over an hour, enormous hailstones, some the size of golf balls, pelted down on Islamabad, transforming streets into rivers and familiar landscapes into scenes of chaos. Cars were dented, windows shattered, and the sound of hailstones hitting rooftops was deafening. The storm, described by meteorologists as a rare supercell, caught everyone off guard. Experts scrambled to analyze the data, trying to understand the sudden and severe weather anomaly. While spring often brought showers to the region, such intense hailstorms were unheard of. The usual gentle rains were a far cry from the destructive force that now pounded the city. Social media exploded with images and videos of the downpour, the sheer size of the hailstones shocking even seasoned weather watchers. Hashtags related to the storm trended globally, drawing attention from meteorologists and curious onlookers alike. The storm quickly became the only topic of conversation, a stark reminder of nature's raw power and the vulnerability of even the most bustling urban centers. News outlets provided continuous coverage, interviewing residents and experts to piece together the event. The storm's intensity was matched only by its duration. It seemed relentless, with no sign of abating, leaving everyone in a state of anxious anticipation. While most hailstorms are fleeting, this one seemed determined to leave its mark on Islamabad. The prolonged assault left the city reeling, with emergency services stretched to their limits. For what felt like an eternity, the city was pounded, the relentless barrage of ice echoing through the streets. The sound was almost surreal, a constant drumming that seemed to come from all directions. As the storm raged on, residents huddled inside, their initial awe quickly turning to anxiety as the sound of shattering glass and crashing tree limbs filled the air. The once vibrant cityscape was now a scene of destruction. The storm was a visceral reminder that even in an age of advanced technology and urban planning, nature remained a force to be reckoned with. It underscored the need for preparedness and resilience in the face of such unpredictable events. The hailstorm's impact on Islamabad was immediate and widespread. Cars, parked on streets and exposed to the full brunt of the storm, bore the brunt of the damage. Windshields were smashed, bodywork dented, and paint chipped away, leaving many vehicles looking like they had been in a demolition derby. The once pristine vehicles, symbols of pride for their owners, were now casualties of the storm's fury. The storm's wrath extended beyond vehicles to residential properties. Windows, unable to withstand the onslaught of ice projectiles, shattered, sending shards of glass flying into homes and businesses. Skylights designed to let in light became conduits for icy destruction, as hailstones crashed through them, leaving gaping holes in roofs. The storm, which had begun as a spectacle, had transformed into a destructive force, leaving a trail of damage in its wake. The storm had a particularly devastating impact on Islamabad's growing investment in green energy. Solar panels installed on rooftops across the city as part of a push towards sustainable energy proved no match for the hailstones. The fragile panels cracked and shattered under the barrage, setting back the city's efforts towards a greener future. The sight of damaged solar panels, once symbols of progress and environmental consciousness, served as a stark reminder of the challenges of relying on renewable energy sources in an increasingly unpredictable climate. As the storm finally abated and the skies began to clear, the true extent of the damage became horrifyingly clear. The once vibrant cityscape now looked like a scene from a disaster movie, with the remnants of the storm's fury evident everywhere. Islamabad, the once pristine capital, was now littered with debris. Streets that were once bustling with activity were now eerily quiet, covered in the aftermath of nature's wrath. Shattered glass, broken tree limbs, and the remnants of what were once roofs and awnings lay scattered across the city. The destruction was widespread, affecting both residential and commercial areas alike. The air, thick with the smell of damp earth and the faint scent of crushed leaves, carried an eerie silence. The usual hum of city life was replaced by the sound of dripping water and the distant wail of sirens, creating an almost surreal atmosphere. The storm's aftermath brought with it a wave of power outages. Entire neighborhoods were plunged into darkness, adding to the sense of disarray and uncertainty. Downed power lines severed by falling trees or damaged by the weight of the accumulated hail plunged neighborhoods into darkness. The city's power infrastructure, already strained, was now pushed to its limits. Traffic lights blinked out, adding to the chaos as drivers navigated streets now reduced to obstacle courses of debris and standing water. The usual order of the city was replaced by a sense of confusion and disorder. The power outages, coupled with the widespread damage, brought life in the city to a standstill. It underscored the fragility of the infrastructure upon which modern life depends, highlighting how quickly normalcy can be disrupted. The storm's impact was particularly severe in certain areas of Islamabad and its twin city, Rawalpindi. These areas bore the brunt of the storm's fury, with extensive damage visible everywhere. The sectors of F, G, and H in Islamabad, known for their tree-lined avenues and affluent residences, were particularly hard hit. Many homes suffered extensive damage, with some structures almost unrecognizable. In Rawalpindi, the areas of Sadar and Raja Bazar, bustling commercial hubs, were left reeling from the storm's impact. Shops were damaged, goods destroyed, and the economic toll was immediately apparent. The storm, indiscriminate in its fury, had left its mark on both the affluent and the working class. It served as a stark reminder that in the face of such natural disasters, societal divisions often fade into insignificance, uniting communities in their shared struggle to rebuild and recover. While the physical damage caused by the hailstorm was significant, it was the human cost that truly underscored the magnitude of the event. Families were displaced, and the emotional toll was palpable. For the residents of Islamabad, the storm was a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of life and the fragility of normalcy. The once serene neighborhoods were now scenes of chaos and uncertainty. Daily routines were shattered, commutes turned into treacherous journeys, and the familiar comfort of homes was replaced by the anxiety of shattered windows and leaking roofs. The storm's aftermath left many grappling with the sudden change in their environment. The storm brought with it a wave of disruption that rippled through every aspect of life in Islamabad. Streets were blanketed with hail, and vehicles bore the brunt of nature's fury. Schools and businesses were forced to close, as navigating the treacherous roads and dealing with the aftermath of the storm took precedence. The economic impact was immediate, with many unable to work or attend school. Public transportation came to a halt, stranding commuters and leaving many with no way to reach their destinations. The city's infrastructure struggled to cope with the sudden onslaught. For a city accustomed to a certain rhythm, the storm was a jarring interruption, forcing its residents to adapt and improvise. The familiar routines were replaced by a new reality of survival and recovery. Yet amidst the chaos and destruction, stories of resilience and community spirit began to emerge. People found strength in unity, coming together to face the challenges head-on. Neighbors helped neighbors clear debris, sharing tools and tarpaulins. The sense of community was stronger than ever, as everyone pitched in to help rebuild. Strangers stopped to assist stranded motorists, offering water, food, and a helping hand. Acts of kindness became commonplace as people reached out to support one another. Social media, often a platform for division, became a vital tool for sharing information, coordinating assistance, and offering words of comfort and encouragement. It played a crucial role in connecting those in need with those who could help. The storm, in its own way, served as a reminder of the enduring human spirit, the capacity for empathy and compassion that often surfaces in the face of adversity. Volunteers worked tirelessly to provide aid and support. Even as they grappled with their own losses, the residents of Islamabad came together, demonstrating that even in the aftermath of a natural disaster, the bonds of community and shared humanity could provide solace and support. The collective effort to rebuild and recover showcased the resilience and determination of the human spirit.